Hello, small tutorial on Houdini, procedural assets. I'd like to make a stone wall. The stone wall must be artist friendly, so I'd like to simplify all the process. Let's get started. So Houdini is open with the default UI. So I'm gonna collapse this window part using this little arrow on the left side, and I'm gonna push P like parameters that will display the parameters that were on the top side, now on the right side. Let's go. I will first create a geometry. I hit tab, Geo, and type, choose geometry. Let's give a name. Maybe stone wall. Click inside, double click, get inside the stone wall. So we create an empty geometry, and now we will go deep inside to define what it is. It's gonna start with draw curve. Draw curve, like you'll see, is drawing in 2D, in a 2D plan, a curve. If you wanted to use the gizmo, you can type enter in the viewport, and now you have that little red sphere just under the mouse cursor. So when I draw, I can shape a curve, a second curve, many curves, whatever I want in my screen on the 2D space. Okay, let's go in stroke and clear 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes that were created. So let's go in the curve, and maybe we could choose the projection. I would like to draw like on the floor, so we'll choose ZX plane. Now I can draw on the floor. Okay, so I will make a prototype curve to test my tool. I will make it maybe nice to look at the end. So when you draw like this, like end draw something, the computer is not acting like lazy mouse or something like this. So you see the curve is not really nice to see in a close-up. I need to smooth that thing. If I display the points, you see it's really ugly because you have distance between points that is quite not fine for mastering polygons in the second time. So first thing to do is to add a resample. Resample will make a new sampling, like the name, sample. It's sampling by the length. Length means that the value you type here is the value of the distance between each points. Okay, so the smaller the value is, the more points you have. There's two ways of defining the resampling, like this one, that is a distance. You can uncheck this and check the maximum segments, and if you active maximum segments, you can choose the number of edges, white edges you want, maybe 500, and well, that's what you get. Okay, let's stay with distance. Okay, I will let me, because I'm improvising this, that distance will be the smaller distance between rock plates. So maybe this one is nice. Okay, I have an option that is smoothing the curve. You see there I have like a sharp angle. If I use the subdivision curve, it is smoothing, but the curve is not exactly respecting the original one. That's not very such a problem for now, but you have to know this. You can also add a smooth after this, and you see that's smoothing more, and it's adjustable. You can smooth more like this. Okay, let's continue. Maybe it's time to make the first save. So find a folder you want to save. Create a folder for the project. That is the rock. That is the stone wall demo. 2026. Accept and SW demo, whatever. Okay, so I want to have some rocks between points, but if I let the line like this, every rocks will have the same size. So I will remove randomly. So I'm using the random, that is a labs tool that is called Labs Random Selection. It's randomly randomly select points, but you can check the option to suppress, like delete selected. And now I'm pushing up the ratio. At 0, I don't suppress any point. At max, I suppress all the points, as you can see. It is random, so you can change the seed. So you will easily make asset variation, like thousands, millions of variation, just changing the seed. So let's make the thing beautiful at the end. Now, objective is to make it working. Now that we have the curve, my stone should be oriented on the curve. So I will calculate normals, because at the moment there's no normals. So I will use the polyframe, that is the very, very useful node. And the tangent of the points will give the normal. So I will uncheck this and check this. So the normal is made from the tangent. And as you can see, that little blue lines are a normal representation. So now I want for each segment, I want to make a stone and also a joint between stones, because that's how that stone wall is made. Is assembly maybe with cement or whatever, or what I say, child maybe. So I started my sentence with for each segment. That's the sentence and also the procedure. So at the moment, if I look at my primitives, I have only one primitive for all the edges. I will make a convert line. A convert line will allow me to separate. I can choose. If I say connect, it does not change anything. If I uncheck, that is the default behavior, every single edge becomes a primitive. But if you look on a close-up at each point, you see, for example, the 18 point there. I should have 2 points. The point that belongs to this edge, and that is the last point, and the first point of this edge. So I should have 2 points. So if I want to separate this, I will use the facet node. facet has an option that is called unique points, and now each primitive is really separated. So I can now iterate for each primitives. So now I will work on each primitive. What do I want on each primitive? Let's start with something simple. I could use directly polygons like sweep and whatever, but I like to stay 2D before getting volumes. I think it's the best way to control, to have a fast and efficient workflow. So on each point I will copy a line, and then I will make a surface between the line. But for now I will copy 2 points. Copy 2 points. I will copy 2 points. Oh, on this, on each point I want to copy this. That will be a line. Let's see the result of the loop. Okay, it's working, but the lines are not oriented like I would. Well, I prefer it to be like this, but I want the line to pass by the center, and that offset could be fine. But in fact, that line, if you look at the line, it starts from 0 and go to 1 because the length is by default 1. So it's not centered on the origin. So I will use a center node. And now that the line is centered on the origin, it will be copied from its center to the point. So now, as you can see, it follows nicely the path. Right, now I want that each stone wall has maybe a random size. So I will give, once I have my primitives, maybe here, I have all my primitives, you see, I will check the points, that the red numbers are my primitives indexes. So what do I want? I want that each primitive has a random value of scale, because the stone has the same size for the line at the beginning, at the first and the last point, each stone. But on each different stone, I want a different value. So the value should be by primitive and then promoted to the points, so both points of each primitive has the same value. So I use the randomize, maybe attribute randomize, the most simple node, that will make an attribute that will be p-scale, like point scale. It's one dimension, it's not a vector, and it's going to be maybe 0.4 to randomly chosen from minimum value 0.4 to maximum value 1. So now if I look my geometry spreadsheet that is showing all my points right now, all my points, I will switch to primitive because I want it to be on the primitive. I see p-scale. So each primitive, so each edge has a p-scale value that is randomly chosen, totally random. Now I want to promote, I want to send that attribute that is on the primitive level to the point level, so it's a promote attribute. Promote, you can promote groups and attributes and whatever with vex. So attribute promote will make the job of pushing from primitive to points the attribute that is called p-scale. Now what can I see? I see maybe the point 0 and 1, that are the 2 points of the main primitive, should have the same value original to point. I'm looking rest length, I'm so sorry. Where is my p-scale? Primitive to points. Oh, I'm not looking at the points, I'm so sorry. Okay, looking at the points 0 and 1, that are the points that belongs to the first primitive, has the same p scale, then uh, and it's the same for all the points. So now, if I look at my primitives, I see that on each one there's the same size, because p scale is acting on scaling while I copy the line. If the point that receive the line as a p scale, it will act as a scale for the copied model. So the line will be scaled on the value. So after this, I could use those two nodes that can make a surface between. I could use polyloft or polypatch. I will use polypatch, I don't mind. I want to make polygons because I want to make a game asset. 1, 1 on the subdivision. So as you can see, if I don't want subdivisions, I just want a simple quad. And now I have random size stones. Okay, this one is weird because it's maybe a strange angle like this. Yes. I'll make a hard turn there. So I could make the deviation of the normal, comparing it with the previous and the next. If it hardly change, I could scale down to make smaller stones in the corners, like maybe density of points by curvature. Let's check. The first one is reversed. I don't mind for now. I will fix it later. Let's check if everything's working nice. So I go back on the, or maybe I save my document before. I will go back on the first node and clear and try to draw a new curve. And as you can see, my stone wall is dynamically updating. I could close it automatically. That's not what I wanted at first. I just want to make like stonework like this. For now, it's fine because it's not a huge hours tutorial. It's simple technique. So I have stones randomly, so I can change also the seed. As you can see on the attribute randomize, I can go in option and I have the seed. Changing the seed will make the random again. And so variations, okay. Nice, so I have multiple stones, but I don't have joints in between. I want in between of each stone joints. So what I could do here is before, or maybe there, while I'm looping. So here I'm inside the loop, so each time the loop is working, I have only one edge on the treatment. Let's show the, okay, I have 2 points. I could there add points. I could cut my stones. So I will use a curve node. Curve node will cut, as you can see, the primitive from the beginning on the distance, that is 0.25 now. Look at this. I have the same behavior, but at the end, no, it's 0.75 from the beginning, okay? And maybe I would like that value to be random, or maybe I will add it later. If I want it random, I should go on the loop import node that will create information on the loop. I will get the iteration count, and I will use it as a seed in a random expression there. So every edge will have different value. Or let's make it. Select the first node of your loop and create import meta. This node contains information of the loop. If you select it, if you go in spreadsheet, if you go in details, you see iteration, that is the loop count on each item. The first edge that will be treated will be iteration 0, and we will go to the last one, that is 25. So I can use that attribute that is called iteration, that is on the detail level, as a seed of a random. How to make this? Select your curve, go here, and I will change the value, that is a hard-coded value, to a dynamic. A dynamic value is an expression. I will type that the value is random first, random. I have to specify the seed. The seed is from the detail. I'll just show you some seconds before. It's from the detail of that node that is for each begin 1, metadata 1. So random, take the detail value, detail. What should I write inside the detail? I got 3 parameters. The first is the path, point, slash, to get out of the node and to retrieve the Stonewall level. Then finding the for each begin 1, metadata 1. Like as you can see, I have there's a complete autocomplete behavior. Then comma. Second parameter is the name of the attributes. That it's a string, so you have to quote it like the path. So inside quote I type iteration, and then the index is 0 because iteration is a simple value, it's not a vector, so I don't want the x, y, z, or x, y, z, or whatever, w, or g, b, a. I want the first value, the unique and the first, so 0. So now my value, if I click there, is random. But let's uncheck the first one. So as you can see, maybe the cuts are very different for each. You see the size is very different. Okay. So I don't want it to be cutted like this. It's a huge cut. I want a very limited part of this random. So I will use fit01. That will remap the value of the random from 0.1 to 0.35 maybe. So I will cut this part, and 35 is before the mid section. I will copy this and use the same expression as second U, and I will maybe use the first U value. So copy parameter, I right click on first U, I choose copy parameter, and second U I type 1.0, that is the maximum, minus, and then I paste with special space, that is right click, paste parameter, relative references, and now it pastes the link to this line, to this value. So it's the same inverted, as you can see. Now I just don't want to cut like this, I want to keep, because if I remove the preview, I cutted that part because it's carving, but I want to keep the inside, the outside, okay? I want to keep all, so I check everything. Now I got 3 primitives after this, right? The center primitive will always be the 1, primitive 1. So I can, Oh, first thing, I will now iterate inside the primary iteration. I will make another one that is a for each also primitive. So for each primitive that has been, I explain again. As an input, I have one edge. The curve is creating now 3 primitives. So for each of the 3 primitives, I will copy on each point my path. Oops, sorry. There and there. So what we have, let's make the thing clearer, like this. It's the same, but I want so now I have my stone and my joints, and I can adjust to say maybe I can go very low value, 0.1, and maybe 0.2 maximum. So the joints are smaller. I will check the results, and now for each stone, you have the main stone and the joint. The main stone and the joint. But I want the joint smaller, so I want the p-scale value of the joints. So the p-scale value of, if I go here, the 2 primitive 0 and primitive 2, that is procedural because I only have 3 primitives, so the center will always be the 1 and the index 1. So I could make a group. I could make a group that is the primitive 1 and call it mid prim. You can call it whatever you want. This one. So I can identify a group in Houdini is a selection. So now maybe before I start copying, I will change the p-scale of the primitive that are not mid-prim. So I will make a primitive adjust, attribute adjust. I will adjust p-scale. That is a float, so I will use attribute adjust float. And so the group is mid-prim. The attribute is p-scale. I want it constant. I don't want to add. I want to multiply by 0.5, so it's 2 times smaller. Now I should. Oh, sorry, that is invert. I don't want mid-prim to be scaled. I want the other one, so I will use. Oh, it does not work. Okay, it does not work, so I will make it 0.2 like this. I will change my group. I don't know why I can't use the invert expression like this. That is like a code, computer code pattern. So now I can scale the join whatever I want, like this, until it will be 97% of the first value. Now the joints are smaller. Okay, that's mainly done. Control S to save this. Now I want it to look like stones, so many things I can do with this. I like to resample, but it's very easy. It will break, as you can see, it breaks topology. That is very fine for stones. Why does it break topology? Because we ask to reduce the points, and as we don't check resample by polygon edge, it will, as you can see, break the corners. If I use resample by edge, the resample is acting on each edge. if I uncheck this, it's considered the whole edge loop. So it will, like this, damage the topology. That's the first option. The second option is easy because it's a bevel. Bevel. I want to bevel the points, and on this one is the same bevel for every stone. Okay. I could use also the resample with the smoothing options, like resample by edge and then smooth. Oh no, it's a closed curve, so I can smooth, so I have to use the subdivision curves. Look, it can be interesting in some case, maybe for necklaces or things like this. Okay, it's fine, but I will use the bevel maybe. The bevel is fine, but it's the same value of the bevel for each point, so I will use that distance will be scaled by an attribute that we will call bev scale, and it does not exist, so there's a warning. So I will create it, randomize attribute name. Oh God, bev p-scale on the points, and it should be working. It's working because, as you can see, there's a very small bevel here, larger one here, large here. It's working, and if I change the scale, okay, I don't go over 1 because the main scale control is there. What you can do is going to, for the minimum, maybe 0.1. Every time a very small bevel, and in the option, once again, you can change the seed. Every time you have a random, you have a seed. Every time you change the seed, you change variation of your assets. Control S, we save that scene. Okay, everything is revert. I see that geometry is a dark gray color. Dark gray color means that it's back face color, so I will. It's better to see lighted like this, especially for the tutorial and in the video. Okay, so what we go next? We go for extrusion. We go for volume. Going for volume means extrude. We extrude every single faces with maybe like this for first try, and every stone should be randomly extruded. So as the same we did before for the bevel, we will check the extrusion. In local control we use z-scale, that is a distance scale. It's a scalar value from the distance, so it's an attribute as an extrude is on the faces, so the primitive, so that z-scale must exist on the primitive. So I will make an attribute randomize that is called z-scale and make it existing on the primitive, and as you can see it's working. So the minimum extrusion will be maybe 0.3, maximum 1. It's getting from this, and the joints should be maybe smaller. Maybe I don't care, I don't know. I don't know. If I want the same value, I have to, if I check it, it should, yes, disconnect. If I want the same extrusion value for each piece, I have to give the Z-scale. Once the polypatch is done, here I have the three faces. I have, let me explain. There I can do this for now because randomize is on the primitive, and I already have 3 primitives, so I can have the same value. If I see the primitive level, the scale is different, okay? That's very logical. So the trick is to make the attribute on the detail. So detail is the whole thing. So I go on detail, there's only one detail, as you can see now, there's a single value, and then promote it, attribute promote on the primitive level. So I go from detail to primitives for the attribute that is called the z-scale. And now, as you can see, the z-scale is the same for each piece, but it will be the same for all pieces. That's very bad. Why? Let me explain. It does not work because the scale we give there at the randomize as a seed, that is the same. As you can see, I can change the seed. It changed the random value, but the seed should change for each pass of the loop. So as I did before, the seed should maybe linked with the iteration count. So I would easily type detail, commas, and inside dot slash for each with our begin 1 metadata 1, comma, and in quotes again the name of the attribute that is called iteration and the index I want to retrieve. And now for each piece I have the same extrude value. As you can see, this one, this. Now it looks better, and I could scale down a little bit the joint. Saving, I can scale down a little bit the joint for each primitive that has not that not belongs to the group, you remember? So in fact it's the same node, that's this one that is using the p-scale for extrusion, that is using the p-scale that makes me the joint smaller on this axis. I want the same behavior but for the extrusion, so I will add an attribute adjust. I'm sorry for so bad English, that is not my first language. So attribute adjust float again. The attribute is now on primitives, so I will go primitives. The attribute is called z-scale, and I want it to be constant and to maybe to multiply. Okay, so now I can adjust it, but I want to adjust it only for the group that is why is the group missing? The group mid-prim, maybe it's it's a problem of refreshing. Mid-prim is a primitive group, isn't it? Mid-prim is a primitive group that is on the edge. It might not be conserved. The group is not existing anymore once I create the poly patch, I think. Let me check. So before the poly patch, there's a group that is called mid-prim there on my primitives. One is inside, two are inside, one is not inside the group, 1, 1, and 0. And there, on the primitives that are created on the poly patch, nothing. And I cannot promote anything, so it's nothing to create again the group, because at the end here I always have 3 primitives, so I can do the same. I know that the center primitive will always be the 1, so it's procedural to type the number there. 0 space 3, 0 space 2, sorry. So primitive 0 and primitive 2 will be the, I can't remember, I can give the same name, mid prim, no problem. It's primitive. Okay, let's check, it's okay. And now with the final preview, it should be good. It looks like okay, so now I can scale it down. Fine. Save. When I extrude, by default, Houdini is not closing the back face like this. Maybe I should, maybe I don't know. Let's check it to close everything. Now that I have everything like this, I could do so many things. This is my low polygon thing. I could also bevel like I did on the first time. So I could bevel, oops, poly bevel, every points. Look, if I bevel the points, I get this. I have to be a slight bevel. If I bevel primitives, I bevel the edges. It is smoothing a little bit everything. And as I did before, I could scale by attribute. I will call it once again bev p-scale and give it a random attribute randomize. Whoops, attribute randomize bev p-scale, maybe 0.2 to 0.8 values, single dimension, it's just a float. And it's fine, because as you can see, there's a large bevel here that's gone smaller there. So it's more natural if you want to create stones. I could make more destroyed stones. How could I do that? I could go here, or maybe just before extruding is here. Just before I have my 2D shapes, I could have, I already did, I could have resample like this and applying a noise, attribute noise. The attribute is the position, so P. Position is a vector. Don't want to offset on the vertical axis, so Y is should be disabled. And now, as you can see, I have my noise applied. It's very, 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 very hard noise. As you can see, it's pushing in one direction because the noise is positive. It's pushing on the positive side. I want the points to move wherever they want, so on the positive or negative value on each axis except Y. So I would choose 0 center. I will change it to a smaller value. I will check the scale and try to find something that is distorting but not doing so much weird things. And as you can see now, it's more looking like stones. All right, saving. fine. Also, I think it's enough. So you have dirty end guns every here, every large faces like this. So don't forget to. It's fine to work with end guns, but before exporting, you have to create triangles with divide, and don't forget to choose avoid small angles that will dispatch the edges to avoid tensions, too much connections on each vertices. So now it's looking like this, and you can recalculate also normal. That is a good. It's always good to add a normal before the end, because sometimes normals can be weird. Okay, so it can be the basics. So I'll keep my normal for later, my divide for later, because now I want to add details. To add details, so this will come later. I just finished my extrude oops, sorry. No. My extrude and my bevel, so everything is closed. That is important because now I will voxelize it with Voxelize Labs Voxel Mesh. That is a remesh grid, a very useful tool that is converting to VDB, then converting back to polygon, and you can choose the resolution. The smaller is the better. If you go too small, you're gonna crash your computer because it's gonna add a lot of polygons on the way back to poly. But it's fine because we will reduce it later. So now high polygon is good. Maybe I can go higher. Okay, calculation gets a bit low. Okay, that should be good. So this node is fine because you can smooth, as you can see, you can blur everything, you can inflate your shapes or deflate also. Okay, I don't want everything like this. I just want to get high and go back to polygon because it welded everything. As you can see, everything is now on one single skin. As you can see inside, there's no more walls between. Everything is welded. So now I can sculpt, virtual sculpt it. Or maybe before you can also make, what's the name there, edge damage. But I don't like to use it. It's very fine, Labs tool, but it's very slow. Look at this, it's now working. It's damaging the edge. So maybe it's too much, amount 1. You can visualize it by checking visualize damage. So you see the areas that receiving the damage. You can change the voxel size also. You as the same here. Voxel size is the distance between each point. So the smaller you have, highest point count. So the better definition you have. But once you go very small on the voxel, your computer will cry and maybe die. So I'm reducing. Okay, that's the way you can damage the edge. Okay, before going. Oh, so there I don't need to go on the image grid because it did the same thing. I can go voxel, more voxels, so heavier treatment, computing, and higher poly count. That's no problem. Next treatment, I save. Next treatment is to want to add another noise because it's damaged the edge, but some surfaces like this one are very flat, no details. And my stone, I want it old because I want to show you everything about this. So I can go with VDB, I can go voxel again. With VDB from polygon, I convert my polygons now to VDB again, but I stay in VDB this time. I don't go back for now. I stay in voxel. I need a lot of voxels, so I reduce the voxel size. I will fill the interior, so my voxels are not like a skin. Everything inside is plenty of points. Fill interior, and the distance will take the name of density. Now I will use VOP. So as I did interior, I will use volume VOP, and the volume VOP will did the job of adding noise on the surface and remapping it. So here we go. I have the input and the output. The density is the same. I will add to the density a noise. Whoops, sorry, noise. You can take whatever you want. I can take the periodic and turbulent and whatever noise you want. Function of what you need. So the turbulent noise needs the position, and that's all. The noise will be added to my structure. So as you can see, it's a bit heavy. So I want it to be remap with a in a VOP it's not it's a fit range, so I can get the minimum. As you can see, I can clamp min and max on what I need, and maybe I could scale that result before adding it by multiplying. And now I want to expose all the control because I want to get the control here. I don't want to dive inside and modifying everything from inside. So I will go on turbo noise. I will get right click and vex VOP option, create input parameters. So I get this little color capsule. So now it means that it's exposed, so it appears on the mains of the VOP level. Fit on the same, but I just want the min max on source, so I will do the same and then delete this one and this one. And here I want to drive that multiply with a parameter that will be called maybe main scale. Main scale will go inside, and now I can retrieve all that parameters here, like my main scale that will, as you can see, scale the effect. So we'll get it slow, just to make my surfaces little damage. Maybe if you can change everything, like I have to make it large to show you, and maybe I want to show you the result on the polygon level. So I will add a VDB again, but we'll add a convert VDB to go back to polygon, because actually we are looking at voxels and polygons. So now if I shift W is the toggle between shaded and wireframe shaded. So so as you can see, we now have polygons. Ooh, let's check this one, it's beautiful. It's a bit too much, but it's nice for showing you maybe the turbulence first. If I lower the turbulence, I have less details. It's like the fractal aspect. Okay. Attenuation is the same. Like my main scale is gonna grow my effect. I will go on 1.5, 1.1, 1.25. I don't know. Okay, I don't want my effect to be so hard. That's just an example of you can do. You can explore these things a lot. Roughness is the same. It's gonna be sharp in the maximum roughness and more soft if you reduce it. Maybe like 0.5. Attenuation, okay, turbulence, amplitude for sure. Amplitude is important. It can be positive and negative. I don't think it could work on the negative aspect, but this is what you get on the positive. I will reduce it a little bit, like this. And most important, I think, parameters from a noise is the scale of the noise. So the scale is the frequency. Look, if I make 100 on each axis. Whoa. Sorry. Yeah. You see, I have the effect that is scaled a lot, so it's very, very, very fine to make small details like this. Maybe 10. It's like the repeat aspect. Okay, that's fine. What could I show you more? Offset is like sliding the noise, so it's like for animation maybe, or if the seed is bad, you can slide it a little bit to have better result. So this is very high polygon. If I want it in a game, it's not fine. I want to go more damage. All right. So as I said, we have too much polygons for now. So this is fine, but this is the high polygon version. Or maybe something I could show you also is because of the VDB, everything is a little bit smoothed. Everything is smoothed, so you can't have sharp edge for this version. So you have to hardcode, vex, everything. Oh, use that very convenient node that is called Sharpen, Mesh Sharpen. That is also Labs Mesh, Labs tools. Labs tools are wonderful for procedural design. And as you can see, it's sharpen everything. So it's a very hard setting. So I will lower this. Maybe show you the topology. In fact, it's contracting so much that I have artifacts. So I will increase a bit smoothing and then trying to push this and find something that I think is the result I wanted. You can use it on a group that can be random groups also. So you can sharpen random sections. What could I do more? That's all. You can check that curve, but maybe lower a little bit. Okay, so it's a way to have sharpen things. I don't want to sharpen it that much, just a little bit like this. Okay, I save. So as I said before, this is the eye, so I will create a null. That is no treatment, just indicator. This is the eye stone wall. Stone wall. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Eye stone wall. And from the eye, so from this, I will create the low. So to create the low polygon, I tried many things. I think the flow I'm showing is the best, according to me, for sure. So I use voxelize from the high. So I will go to voxel and back to polygon again. As you can see, it's now mid polygon. I want to keep it a little high. So I will display the high res over. Alright, so now I have like a skin with less polygon. So this is the high, very high polygon. This is the low. As you can see, it's less polygon. When I generate this one, I use the project to original, that is recasting points on the eye surface. So the two surfaces are matching more. Maybe I'm losing too much details here, as you can see. That's like stair is damaged by this, so that image grid should be lower. Okay, to keep details. So now we have less polygon. We have polygon that match the topology, but we want to reduce. So now we reduce. Polygon reduce. I will connect it. Save before, always save before polygon reduce, and always save before UV, automatic UV. So polygon reduce, I choose to specify the output count I want, and I want maybe 2,500 polygons. So now I have a polygon that is exactly what I want. If I display the high res over, you see that it's matching quite nicely. So this is very few. I will go on 5,000 because it's a longer stone wall. And so now I have my low polygon there that is doing like black artifacts. It's just a smoothing problem. So this one needs a normal node, and now everything displayed correctly. And it needs also UVs. So I'm using the labs auto UVs because it's procedural, so everything is generated without any user gizmo thing in the viewport. So it's not that the best way to have clean UVs. So let's display the UVs. Unfortunately, UVs are very hard to get with automatic UVs. So it's working, but it's not like optimized. So as you can see, it makes a large ribbon like this. And as it maintains the scaling from the viewport, like the preserve 3D ratio in Autodesk settings, it's I'm losing a lot of space in the UV, so I will allow the algorithm to make more cuts by lowering the merge threshold, maybe 0.3. That's not very good, my friends. Okay, point 2. Why? I want more cuts. It should make more cuts. Okay, maybe point 1. Okay, point 1 is fine, because it makes lots of cuts. No, it's fine because it's UV that are working, but it's not optimized at all. Not optimized because, simple thing, if you're a beginner in the 3D world, when you will paint, texture the thing, every pixel that is between what we call here in white the UV islands, everything that is gray behind is lost. You can paint this because it's not a projection. So the more islands you have, the more pixel you lose inside that UV layout. And if you lose pixel, in fact, you're wasting resolution. So the aim is to have the less island as possible every time, and avoid this. Avoid absolutely like these triangles floating. But as I want to stay procedural, I have to keep it like this. It's gonna work. It's not gonna be a big mess, but I can't show this like UVs. This is not beautiful to show. So UVs, then normals, then it's fine. You have your second output. That will be the low stone wall. Alright, so now we can export with the FBX wrap output. We will export in the $heap, that means the working directory, and the name will be stonewall underscore. This is the high. I will alt drag to make a copy, and this one is the same, but it's called underscore low. So stonewall underscore low dot fbx. Something you can do on both is compute smoothing group, and that's all. You can select the both output and make save, that is saving the two nodes at the same time. And we will open Substance Painter to check if everything is working, or if you get houdini 20 or 20.5 or 21 or more, you can use the Copernicus. Copernicus is the COP network. You make a COPNet, you go deep inside, and you make a BEC. You make a BEC setup. That is, I don't know the name, that is a recipe. A recipe is just a model of nodes connected. I don't want a cage, I just want a low and a high, and BEC it. The low will be, I'm going to check my low stone wall. The high will be, I'm going to check my high stone wall output. And now, if I click on BEC, I should see my normal that is cooked. If I want to preview, just tap preview materials. I want to preview on my low, on my low polygon. That is the geometry. I want to check this, so the model, but displaying it with my BEC cooked normal. Normal now go in the normal slots, and as you can see, you can see nothing because the viewport is not lighted. very well, so I will use that new lighting mode. Maybe dumb light? No, not good. Physical sky is better. Okay, and as you can see, I have my detail appearing. Okay, maybe you see some artifacts. Okay, I'm looking for it. Okay, here. What you see here is the UV seams. Maybe our UV are very bad. So here I can check enable UV boundary. It's cooking again. And maybe my texture resolution is low because I'm 1024. 1024 is very, very low. I can check my network and go for default 2048. Activate again, cooking again. No, it's not very. I don't know why. Let me remove the normal. Okay. Yes, oh, it's working, but as a close-up, it should be fixed. Look at this. This is the problem. The problem of the boundary. Enabling it is a bit buggy for now. Sometimes I have to uncheck this, go as a world space normal eventually, and go back. And okay, as you can see, there's a refresh problem because the normal is good, but the preview material did not change. And also maybe it's a bit shiny, so the roughness scale, default roughness, push it. Enabling it again. Oh, it's coming back, but the problem is still here. The problem is the UV. Okay, let's check in Painter if we have the same problem. I will make a new file with using the Stonewall demo 2026 low. Open. Nothing. Okay, checking. Nothing. Everything is fine. My UVs are what they are. I mean, it's fine. And let's cook baking. I'm using a high polygon. I will check the cage. Cage offset should be all the time fine-tuned because it depends on the mesh scale also. So as you can see, the cage, the limit is very, very large though. So I will go on 0.003, maybe, okay, maybe lower, maybe 2, and the same for the holes in the lower. I will use, oh sorry, the little of anti-alias to 2048 is the resolution. Bake. Now I see the details transferred into texture to be used as informations. return to painting. Okay. This time, you see, in painter it's perfect. Baking is very accurate. So I had a very detailed transfer to the map, but still got some weird issues there. So I will check it again. Forget about this for now. Go back here, show the UVs, and maybe display again the UV layout. I will ask Houdini to show me, sorry, here, display overlaps. So nothing is red, so nothing is overlap. It's fine. But I think maybe distortions. Distortions? No, there's no distortions. So it should be better than this. Okay, I will save and try something. I will try to activate. So I will check that option. That is a bit big. Sometimes it makes the computer crash. Merge Small Island is trying to take every single little piece. Oh, there's distortions here. Is that distortions or overlap? No, there's distortions. So there's a node that is called remove distortion. It's a labs. Let me find labs remove with the distortions. That is iterative, so it's make a lot of pass, 6, 7, on 10, 9. Okay, packing. I still have distortions, that's perfect. Okay, I don't know, remove it. I will first do this, I will merge Small Island. So now, oh, it shouldn't be like this. Let's remove it. Okay, maybe the threshold shouldn't be lower than the grain tolerance. So maybe I will use the same or a little bit higher. See distortions again. This one is quite red. The reddish, the more reddish you have, the more distortion you have. I don't know what to do because it's procedural things, so there's nothing I can do unless doing my own UVs. Maybe I can do scatter. Is that the scatter by density? Let me. I can't remember. Okay, I'll try something. I will have to stop the video and check what's the node name. I can't remember. I have to open the side effects documentation. So we'll have to stop this. Maybe I could try some other way of unfolding, because now I am auto UV seams. I can use the maybe shortest path. That's weird because some pieces looks good, some others looks very, very weird. As you can see, there's a lot of distortions. Number of paths, maybe I should go double on this. Okay. No more distortion. Okay, let's give a try. Saving. I will export this. I don't think it's fine, but Let's try. I will re-import mesh. So everything is broken because the UVs are different. So I have to cook it again. Cook. Same settings, I think, yes. Cook again. For now everything looks fine. Oh, I think I saw some sewing issues again. You see that lines? Return to painting nodes. No, it looks fine. Oh no, once again. Here. Okay, let's check here what we have. Well, for sure I don't have enough polygons, but I want to get it very low. So I'd like to keep it like this. Maybe I could increase smoothing. But it shouldn't be linked to this. I re-imported. I will cook again. I think I don't have enough polygons also. We will try something else now. Oh. With the help of smoothing, now I could get rid of the, yes, because my smoothing was too hard for on the low polygons. I had to help. I am more than 120, I think I go, yes, but usually 120 is nice. Okay, so I will stop the video. Now usually I texture it if I won't go procedural all the way. I can go easily with a folder with a very basic setup, base SW, that is Stonewall, that is start with a fill layer. That gives for sure first information is the color. I can go for a grayish color. The Stonewall is not shiny like this. Maybe it's a water Stonewall or something, a river stone. But I want to check also the roughness, and it can be shiny but not that much. Okay, so this is the first color. I duplicate this layer and I remove roughness. I change the color. I will go on lighter color and mask it. So that new layer, whitish, is now hidden by the mask. So inside the mask I will reveal the mask with a generator. Generator means that it's procedural. It's using the informations we baked just before, and I could use maybe curvature to reveal the edges, hard edges. As you can see, I could use the balance to lower it. I could use a noise, adding a noise, because the curvature is very cartoony. So I will add a fill layer that is a noise that I don't know, a noise, whatever noise you like, maybe cloud, maybe moisture. You get a lot of beautiful noise in Painter. I don't know, I will take this dirt 4. And this dirt will be multiplied by the first mass. So now, as you can see, wave out and wave this one added. But if you look at it on the normal way, you see it's not projecting. Oh, then it's quite nice, but in fact it is not, because it should be projected on a triplanar to avoid seeing the seams. Okay, so multiply with the previous curvature generator, and now you see that noise. So you, as every noise, you can choose balance to reveal less or more the edge effect. Once you find the good balance, you have also the contrast. If you want it to be sharp or whatever, and the scale of your noise, that you can change it also on the tiling. So you can have very, very tile the noise. Okay. This one is fine, and at the end you can fine-tune the fading of that layer with the base color layer opacity 100. You can lower it like this maybe. Then I could add like a dust layer, so I will make a fill layer on top. So this one is the edge light. This one is the, oh, I make this layer, this fill layer outside. Okay, so this one is the dust. Maybe it's adding a darkish color. No roughness, just color. So the dust is also masked, black mask. Right click in the mask and choose add generator, and generator will use whatever you like, maybe dirt. And dirt is a wonderful filter because it uses ambient occlusion also, so everything in the cavity, curvature and everything is received the darker color. If you press C, you can go in a color mode to check it. You see, I just display the color. What you see so is the dirt, and the dirt has a level. Okay, let it like this. As you see, there's a projection everywhere of also that pattern. That should be a triplanar, true, avoiding the UV seams to be displayed. And then you can fine-tune everything with the grunge amount, that is the final layer. That the scale of the grunge as always. Contrast is very important also, contrast. You can invert. I don't know why I should invert here. And micro details is very, very useful, but I won't show it today because it's not a painter tutorial. So I will go on M shortcut to go back into the material previs. And this is what you get in a procedural way for the first row. That's fine. Let's save this houdini stonewall SW demo 2026. Sorry, 20 2026 and go back in Houdini. You should really go on the simple bevel node if you want to redraw your curve. But as something funny, I could go procedural again, like making a grid. Making a grid that is on the Z perfect, that is no subdivision to 2. I could go extracting the edge. So using again the convert line that will make every edge as a primitive. Then, oh, I don't think maybe I don't need the convert, I don't know. No, I will let it. I will extract centroid, so I will extract every edge center using primitive. So now, as you can see, I have all the primitive center here. And I will, let me get some place. I will now copy 2 points. Let me type correctly. Copy 2 points on each of these points. Maybe I don't know, a cycle. This is totally improvised. So I copy cycles on each point. Cycles that should be ZX also. Maybe larger. So if I look at the grid, original grid, I copied a cycle on each edge center. And I could Boolean. What I did is a grid, so it's like a paper sheet. It's not a volume. Here I have 4 cycles that are paper sheet also. So if I use a Boolean, I have to specify that it is not a volume. So the Boolean should be surface. Even if it's working by any chance in the viewport, you have to specify this. So now I can use this shape, maybe here, to get a new stone wall. Ooh, that's really bad. Okay, maybe I was too confident for this. Let me check a little bit. So I resample. Okay, I smoothed, maybe I random removed. I convert line. Everything looks good. Okay, let me check the normals. Oh, normals have fucked up. Why? Random polyframe. Wow. What the hell? Okay. I think I have to add a node because I think I know what is the problem. The problem is from the Boolean, because at the first time I had a beautiful grid with point numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it's no more, I think. Where is the 0? I can find it. It's somewhere here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no. It's fine. Resample. Should be fine also. I will resample like a subdivision. It would be. Oh, no. Maybe in the second time. Okay, I smoothed. Oh, it's maybe the smooth that recompute the normal. Polyframe. Wow, why? Why is the polyframe broken? As you can see that those normals shouldn't point like this. Maybe the 49 should be the 48 continuation. Polyframe. Primitive. First edges. First edges is working, so 2 edges should work also. So I think it's a point sort problem, but it looks good. 68, 69, 70, 79, 80, until 83, then back to 0. So something weird. Maybe I could edge convert it. Maybe it's the primitive problem, because I keep the surface. So I will get rid of the surface by converting edge group to curve. Maybe here. And choose everything. Star. Like multiplies everything all. No, so I get rid of the surface, and now it's fine. Look. And now the normal looks good. So everything should be repaired. That's the magic of procedural. If you repair, everything go back working again like this. So to the bevel, perfect. To the hardest calculation with the voxels. The voxels is like working in ZBrush. You go very high on point numbers and primitives or polygons and whatever, to go on small, like micro details, and then go back in the low polygon. So now that's what I have. One polygon is extruded on the wrong way, because I think it is reversed. If I go here, let me display. I can't remember the back face. Where is the back face option? Is this one? Back face. Okay. Oh, yes. This one is reversed. This one is the last one. You see, the 0 is here. I don't know why. That's pissing me off, because it's every time the same shit. I should investigate on this. I should investigate and find a solution, because I don't want to say that the last point is reversed. I can do it, I can fix it easily, but it shouldn't behave like this. I think I can identify that those words, 3 polygons, using before reverse, using this. That is a group. I will try to group by normals. Include backface from. Maybe using the backface from. So if I do whatever, like a plane, I need that is a grid. Sorry, in Houdini there's no plane, there's a grid. If I give it the reference, so ZX, no subdivision, that's a simple grid. I will tell the group to tell which faces are oriented like the same as the grid. So I will take the back face from the grid 2. And you see, it selected the wrong faces. So I can reverse everything but, so I will give it a name. I will, to be reverted. To be reverted. That's a primitive, yes. Reverse to be reverted. Maybe reverse the others. does not work. To be reverted. Okay, so I want to revert everything but this one. So everything but, oh, the group is not working, sorry. Backface, everything is colored. I thought it was nice, but it is not. Because, oh, because the group name, oh, it's fine. Non-planar. Direction, oh, direction is not good. How could I change it? Maybe. If I do it by hand and give it no tolerance, so 0 tolerance. Oh, this one is working. Okay, so everything that is not pointing up, 0, 1, 1 on y-axis. This is the tolerance. If I go up 180, it is broken, but if I gave it 0 tolerance, 0 spread, I can simply select this. So this one is fine. So now I reverse everything, but now it's working. Okay, so I go on mesh sharpen. This is to end the video. Oh no, it's broken again. God damn. It's the edge damages because the topology has changed, and so the edge damage need another settings. I told you the edge damage is a very weird thing. I don't want to use it for now. Or maybe you can use it. Let me show you. The edge damage has 2 modes. It can work in a VDB or also in a Boolean way. The both are broken. Usually it's broken because it's open edge, but no, it should be fine. So I think it's the difference between low and small pieces. So it's maybe the center noise. Increasing resolution. Okay, maybe 8. And element size. Okay, it does not want to work, so eventually I can go for VDB from polygon, polygon, convert VDB, and once I went back into polygon, I can use the edge damage here, but as I have a lot of polygons, it might be very long to compute. Let's try. You shouldn't use edge damage on a high polygon, because you will see it's very long to compute, and I don't like long computing. It should be the faster compute process. Look at this, 2531, it's super. Okay, it's finally worked, but you see it's not good, and I waited a lot. I'm pushing back to 1. Okay, there we go. Now I have so this is the original, and this is the edge damage version. So now I can mesh sharpen. It's working, so it's the high. The remesh grid will go lower poly count. The poly reduce will go on 25,000 polygon because it's a very large mesh. And now that's all. You auto UVs. Okay. Auto UVs may take a while also, it's okay. I can export. I want just to show you that I can change my input and it's still working. I started with the draw curves, giving you the artistic control, but I can stay on a procedural way with shape like this. And once you export it, as the painter is also procedural material, I just have to re-import my mesh and recook. Re-import, okay. So then now recook. And because my material is using all the information that will be cooked and no brush strokes, it will still be procedural and will be quick to make lots of assets. If you make any change, it's very quick to just have to recook. And the cooking is quite fast in Painter. Okay, and as you can see now, I got my stone wall shape that is refreshed. Okay, I hope it helped. I should have maybe made IDs if you want the material to be different on the joints, or maybe in another video. That's what we got in maybe 1 hour tutorial. Hope you like it. See you.